if I told you you had to share one mind among multiple people in order to achieve a common goal? That is what we're going to be doing in this series. Welcome to CodyVerse MyGM Co-Op. In this series, myself, Cody, Canada, and Cheek will be playing my GM, but as a three-headed monster. Our goal is to put together the best show working together. We're gonna be on the clock. We're gonna have a timer, and if we fail to get things submitted before time runs out, we're gonna be incurring a huge penalty. We also have to operate one at a time without help from the other two. So we have a list of actions. Those actions should be popping up on the screen right now. And if you perform one of these actions, it counts as your turn and you pass the metaphorical controller to the next person. So in this first episode, we have the draft. So the draft selections will take turns when we select new champions. End of a season when we're selecting keepers. Every email response, that counts as a turn. Booking a match, a promo, buying or using a power card, forming a free agent search, and then signing a free agent are actually two independent actions. So if you perform the search, you kind of just gotta hope that someone signs somebody you want. Releasing superstars, logistic upgrades, proposing trades, accepting trades, declining trades. Once per week, one of the three co-GMs will be able to adjust the match order by flipping two matches with each other. And also, whoever uses the action send it in to finalize the card for the week will get the opportunity to say one forward leading statement for the following week, because we can't tell people what we want to do 3 steps down the road. All of those things exist as a turn usage, but we've got our house rules. If it is my turn, as an example, and Canada jumps in with a suggestion or is telling me what to do or is trying to correct me from a mistake, we will incur a time penalty. If it's an accidental jump in, it's a 30-second penalty. If it's an intentional jump in to save somebody from a mistake, it is a 90-second penalty. So although we're all working together, we're going to be limited in our communication. So it's about knowing what the other GMs want to do. Think of it like Family Feud. Everybody's giving their own answers. You have a common goal for the team, but you can't really help each other out. So if somebody comes out and says, naked grandma, naked grandma, naked, huh? There's not much you can do. So the question will become, when we're facing 3 GMs on the highest difficulty, can myself, Cheek, and Canada tie our heads together well enough to conquer, or will having too many general managers lead us astray and into conflict? So all that being said, it is now time to dive into episode 1 of My GM Co-op, but we do have to determine our brands and our GMs for not only us, but our 3 extreme AI competitors. And look, you know how it is on this channel. We live and die by the rando. So each week we send in the card, but for this video, let's send it in to the draft. Okay, so it's now time to kick this thing off. You guys got the rules, our house rules for My GM Co-op. Cheek and Canada are here with me, and what you're seeing right now on the screen is a wheel of every GM plus brand combination that is possible. WWE 2K25, 133 possible combinations. I'm gonna hit shuffle on this a few times, and our random turn order for this episode is Cheek, followed by myself, followed by Canada. So I'm gonna spin this wheel, and Cheek will have to make the decision on if he wants this to be our GM and brand, or if he wants this to be one of the 3 extreme AI challengers here. And the first wheel spin is going to be Paul Heyman as the GM, SmackDown as the brand. Cheek, do you choose to play or pass?
Oh man, hello CodyVerse, by the way. I like Paul Heyman, but I don't think his power card does enough to move the needle for us. All promos are free and have their results doubled. I think that's great, but we need something with a little more juice, so I'm going to officially decline.
Okay, so that means Paul Heyman and SmackDown is one of the computer GMs that we will be going up against. We'll also get that Birth of Legends card for SmackDown, little popularity boost there. So they are off the wheel, and of course, if the wheel lands on Paul Heyman or SmackDown for another spin, we'll just spin again. I am up next, so I'm gonna spin and see what we get here. And I have, okay, so I have Tyler Breeze plus ECW. So the guys have it up for me. I know Tyler Breeze is the stamina savior.
Yes.
How much is that?
All superstars immediately recover 12 stamina.
Okay, so it's 12 stamina once per season we could save. ECW has the Extreme Rules card where you can randomly get rid of 3 champions for all of the other brands. The only thing is, as someone that had ECW in 2K24, you don't get any women's championships. Your title holders do get a boost on the men's side, but I feel like, losing the women's division from a title belt perspective is always a little tricky. So I am going to decline this, which means our second AI opponent is going to be Tyler Breeze as ECW. And now Canada, hello, welcome in officially as you're making our next decision.
Yes, can't wait. Here we go, baby.
All right, wheel is spinning, and it is going to be Sonya Deville as NXT Mutiny.
Ooh, you know what? I think we're going to take that for ourselves.
All right, boom.
We've always kind of wanted to see what the NXT Mutiny card could do, and I think it's going to be very interesting when we got to, possibly release a couple people per season.
All right, that is going to be massive there. And then Sonya, we know, twice per season, all power cards in the store are free, and you get 2 copies of them. So, yeah, we'll get a kind of dive in to figure out the mutiny strategy, and we know what Sonya is capable of. So that's going to be us. This last wheel spin is going to be our final AI general manager that we are going up against, and it is going to be, oh, buddy.
This is who it would have been if I said no.
No. So it was Sensational Sherry, but it was as ECW. So we remove it and we spin again.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
That'd have been dude, the Sherry card would have been a killer if it got used on us. Okay. Oh, slowing down. It's going to be Mick Foley as WCW. So those are our combinations. We're going to get those set up in the game. We're going to get ready for the draft. And since Canada was the one to pick our GM, that means Cheek will get the first pick of the draft for NXT.
Oh, God.
Okay, so we've got the brands, we've got the GMs, all the combinations are set, but we want to show our settings here for this series. So it is extreme difficulty, both in the AI and the game difficulty itself. Win conditions going to be fans, the 10 Hall of Fame trophies. This is going to be a faster paced series, so we might see the 10 Hall of Fame trophies happen. The budget each season is going to be 4 million. Player order is going to be random, which really, in this case, since we're just one person gets 3 AI, is going to matter for the draft. Shakeups on draft pools is the default. Auto draft obviously off here. Match unlocks are default, so we have to gradually unlock match stipulations. And unlike in our long form series, we do have a timer as a reminder again. So 10 minutes are going to be on the clock every week. And if we ever fail to get our show booked in the 10 minutes and get it submitted, we will lose 30% of our fans for that week. So going to be very intense. And we're going to go ahead and start this draft here. And it will be Cheek getting to make the first selection. But same thing, Canada and I cannot jump in, tell them what to pick or who we think. So it's going to be on Cheek to do his pick. That'll be me, then Canada, etc. And then same thing, one of our turns will be to end the draft. So one of us might end it before someone else does. Someone might make a pick when someone else wanted to end it. It's just going to be part of the chaos here. So we're going to go ahead and get it started. SmackDown takes Becky Lynch. ECW takes AJ Styles. WCW takes Rhea Ripley. And now Cheek's on the clock.
All right. Okay, boys. So as the first pick of NXT Mutiny, I feel like we need to make a big splash. We need to come in hot. And this is going to be the face of the brand. So I'm going to go ahead, even though it pains me to spend big chunk of money, sometimes you got to spend that money. I'm going to go ahead and lock in Cody Rhodes to be the face of the brand. He's got good popularity, 20 ring XP, and a little cheek kicker is we get our specialist who gives us the ultimate versatility. So we're gonna go ahead and lock in Cody Rhodes.
All right. Oh, right back.
To
me. And I had one person in mind. As if you haven't watched it on the channel, we did a My Rise playthrough. So since we're NXT Mutiny, I feel like we kind of have to have the guy that kind of set up NXT Mutiny in the My Rise story. So I'm going to bring in CM Punk.
Let's go. Big pick.
All right, for the AI, they are going to go Xavier Woods, Aleister Blackhead in the WCW, ECW taking Bianca Belair, and Canada on the clock.
All right, and I think I'm going to pick somebody. When we look at our roster here, especially if we're all going to kind of make a big splash for our first 3 picks, I'm going to go ahead and select Drew McIntyre. Bruiser kind of fits well into that main event scene, and he could be kind of the heel of these two faces.
Drew McIntyre. All right, ECW taking Windy Chu. WCW takes Brutus Creed of the Creed Brothers. Duke Hudson over to SmackDown. SmackDown kicks off round 4 with Andre Chase. So they grab the whole team of Chase U right there. Ciampa heading to ECW. We're back to Cheek and Mutiny.
Okay, boys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and admit to being a little fanboy slut. So I'm gonna go ahead. I would be remiss if we did not get this guy. We let him go to another brand. I am going to lock in the great Penta. I think he's gonna be a great addition to the brand, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with him. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock him in. I don't want to lose him to somebody else.
All right, WCW gonna go with JC Jane. They go back to back. They get Julius Creed to pair with Brutus, Johnny Gargano to ECW to pair with Ciampa, and then SmackDown gonna take Zelina Vega. So I'll be closing out round 5 for Mutiny. All right, so as I'm making my pick, it's no secret that I have my tendencies in a draft, and I was looking for who to select, and I am going to grab a heel here, but I'm going to make the stamina play to kick us off here. 83 stamina, as I just accidentally sorted rather than pull up their cards, so that'll happen, but we can still find them. We just got to go the long way, kind of the way Goldberg eats corn, and we are going to still make the stamina play that I was about to say, but I'm going to pull up the card this time so you can see what we're getting here. Ooh, nice. We also get a basic power card as well. We are going to grab Tonga Loa in the 5th round.
Let's go.
Ooh, Canada up to kick off round 6.
All right, I see what Cody is doing, so I'm going to go ahead and counter his pick by picking Chris Sabin.
And then WCW takes Carl Anderson. SmackDown gets Raquel. ECW going to get Lumis. Luke Gallows right away. They get the Good Brothers paired up on WCW. And Cheek on the clock now for NXT Mutiny.
Ooh.
All right, boys. I think I'm going to go ahead and make one of our first female selections. I'm going to go ahead and get things started with Isla Dawn. I think she gives us a good heel presence, level 10. We need to start building the women's division somewhere. I think Isla Dawn is the move to go, and also pretty cheap, only 135,000.
Boom. All right, Kofi Kingston gonna head to SmackDown. ECW gonna grab Mark Coffey. And then it's me with Mutiny. Okay, so for my pick, we've got a few options based on what I'm seeing in our recent selections. But taking a look through, I'm gonna go Alex Shelley. He's got the basic power card perk, so if I end up not being able to get some of the other people I was considering here, being in a spot to get a random power card sometimes can be super powerful here. So we're gonna get the other half of the guns, Alex Shelley.
Let's go.
Josh Briggs over to SmackDown. ECW gonna take Jade Cargill. WCW. Oh wow, big pick. KSI. Ooh, and then Logan Paul over to SmackDown. Fallon Henley, WCW, now Canada on the clock in round 9.
Nice. I think I'm also kind of thinking I'm going right for it, and I think I'm gonna say the name wrong because everybody does. Stephanie Vaquer.
I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you which it is.
But she's got that Devil's Kiss, Devil's Curse, that move that makes Booker T go absolutely insane. And she's got the popularity. We'll work on that ring experience. But welcome to the brand, Stephanie. Back hair. There we go.
There you go. We just had to wait for them. Roxanne Perez for ECW, and now back to Cheek for Mutiny in round 10.
All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and be that guy. I'm just gonna go ahead and lock in our ladies tag team officially. So we're gonna bring Alba Fire in to pair with Isla Dawn.
Got a women's tag there. ECW gonna grab Wolfgang, Lyra Valkyria, heading over to WCW. I already forgot how they said Stephanie's last name, I'll be honest. Baron Corbin to Smack. That's the issue. Anytime I hear it, I'm like, I gotta remember that. And then I forget 3 seconds later. Andrade to ECW, Liv Morgan to SmackDown, back to me for Mutiny here in round 11. So we're gonna look and find who we want to bring over. All right, so with my pick, I'm gonna go to the women's division here. And was kind of scrolling through some different considerations, some different options. But I think we're going to try to get a little bit of a value play here. I had a handful I was considering here. But I'm going to go ahead and snag up Jakara Jackson. WCW going to take Kit Wilson. And now Kando on for NXT Mutiny.
All right, here, and when I'm taking a look at the roster, I'm thinking we need to boost up that mid-card potential a little bit. So go ahead and give us Chad Gable.
Shoosh. SmackDown gonna grab Charlotte Flair. ECW taking Eric Rowan. WCW with Elton Prince. Then they kick off round 13 with Ora Mensa. And Cheek on the clock for round 13.
Oh, gosh. All right, boys. I am going to do a little bargain bin shopping. Not really looking for anything in particular here. I just want to stay right around that 100,000 or under range. So looking for a guy with some promising upside, but can also just fill in some of the gaps on the mid card. So I want to bring in now a hidden value here. Obviously, is if you look and find someone with a pretty decent mic skill, but a lot of the times they do not. So I'm gonna bring in a bruiser and Oba Femi. I think he's gonna be a nice big body for us. He's a good heel, and I think he just gives us some cheap value and depth to the roster. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring him in and let you guys spend the high dollar amounts now.
For SmackDown, they're going to go Trick Williams, ECW taking Carmelo Hayes. And then round 14, over to me, NXT Mutiny. And you know what? I don't have to kill too much time here. I don't need to search around. I wanted to get another women's pick in there just in case because we only had the 3. But I do want to go ahead and get the other half of the Gorillas of Destiny. So Tama Tonga here is going to be coming to our brand as well to join up with Tongaloa. For WCW, they're going to take Ivar. SmackDown going to grab Brooks Jensen from his Season 2 2K25 My GM Persona in our main series. Blair Davenport going to head to ECW. Lexus King to SmackDown. Jordan Grace to WCW. And Canada on the clock in round 15.
I was going to say it, and then I felt like it would have gave us a penalty, but now that it's my pick and I can freely speak, I think Tama Tonga becomes grumpy. That's interesting. when you click X on him, I saw his morale was already like grumpy, not super pissed, but just annoyed face.
Just wakes up annoyed.
Yeah. All right, I'm also not going to spend a lot of time here because I know it kind of ends up on our brand somehow anyways with the 4 or 5 mic skill. We can work on that ring XP. Give me $41,000 Pat McAfee.
For round 15, it closes out with Nathan Frazier to ECW. 16 kicks off with Dog Daddy heading over to SmackDown. WCW gonna grab Cora Jade. Cheek on the clock for Mutiny.
All right, Cody, not much time needed here. I'm also going to keep within the bargain bin realm. I'm going to bring in Javon Evans, a cruiser, just to get somebody else on the brand that I think we could have some fun with and grow as well. So there you go. Javon Evans, welcome to Mutiny.
ECW closes out the round with Omos. The Homo Sapiens going to be going crazy for that pick. Round 17 going to be Giovanni Vinci kicking off. Gigi Dolan over to ECW. WCW grabs Eric. And then I am on the clock for Mutiny here. And I can go right into it. I got one other team I wanted to complete there. So we took Jakara Jackson earlier. We're going to grab Lash Legend now. Our 5th female superstar. But we've got 2 solid tag teams in that women's division. So we love to see it. Lash Legend, NXT, Mutiny. Round 18, Axiom going to kick it off for ECW. SmackDown going to take Indy Hartwell. WCW going to grab Akira Tozawa. Canada on the clock for Mutiny.
All right, when we talk about the face of the women's division, I feel like there's only one that's proven in our other GM series. And I think we got to give ourselves some Scarlet, baby.
Ooh.
All right, Cheek, round 19.
Man, I feel like we're getting towards the end, so this is probably gonna be my last pick. But I think I'm gonna take one of my personal favorites from the other GM series. I'm gonna bring in Sol Ruka, even more depth for the ladies division, and I think it'll balance us out pretty nicely. I think she can grow and be a star.
All right, WCW, they are going to grab Otis. ECW takes Eddie Thorpe. SmackDown going to get a Tony D'Angelo, huh? And it is to me for Mutiny, and I'm seeing that we've got $86,000 left, so there's probably technically some, as I sort by the wrong things, now I got to go through the whole list again. So there literally isn't anybody that we could draft, even if I wanted to.
Probably a lady.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, true. So we've got a handful of female stars, but that would leave us with very little going in. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my turn to end our draft here and finalize it. So there it is. Ooh. NXT Mutiny, sexy roster. I think 19 superstars there. We'll see what the other brands do. SmackDown also ends in round 20 like we did. WCW is going to go ahead and grab Akam. ECW going to take Grayson Waller. Round 21. Ooh, all right. WCW takes Natalia. ECW finishes off with 20 superstars. Okay. WCW finishes off with 21. Damn it, that prime model is coming out. All right, so for our roster rundowns here, SmackDown is an AI brand run by Paul Heyman. They've got Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Liv Morgan, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Zelina Vega, Giovanni Vinci, Logan Paul, Angelo Dawkins, Raquel Rodriguez, Baron Corbin, Indy Hartwell, Andre Chase, Duke Hudson, Josh Briggs, Tony D'Angelo, Trick Williams, Alexis King, Brooks Jensen. ECW AI brand run by Tyler Breeze is going to be Bianca Belair, AJ Styles, Jade Cargill, Dexter Lumis, Omos, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Axiom, Eric Rowan, Andrade, Gigi Dolan, Carmelo Hayes, Mark Coffey, Wendy Chu, Nathan Frazier, Roxanne Perez, Grayson Waller, Blair Davenport, Eddie Thorpe, Wolfgang. On our side, NXT Mutiny. Of course, we will be steering the ship as Sonya Deville. We've got Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Penta, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Alba Fire, Stephanie. Already forgot Vakur. Michael Cole said it. I forgot 3 seconds later. But now she's on our brand, so I got to actually really learn it. Chad Gable, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Sol Ruka, Scarlett, Isla Dawn, Lash Legend, Obafemi, Jakar Jackson, Javon Evans, and Pat McAfee. The final brand, WCW AI brand run by Mick Foley here. Rhea Ripley, Aleister Black, Otis, Kit Wilson, Elton Prince, Akira Tozawa, Eric Ivar, Natalia, Brutus Creed, KSI, Lyra Valkyria, Oramitsa, JC Jane, Julius Creed, Cora Jade, Akam, Jordan Grace, Carl Anderson, Fallon Henley, and Luke Gallows. So those are our rosters here. And as we go in, that 10-minute timer is going to start, so I'll be quick here. I guess I can say here while this is up. So each email, even if it is just you saying something back to Triple H that doesn't matter, that counts as a turn. And as we pick our champions for season 1, Each champion is a turn. Tag champions, you can pick both of them as your turn. So if you want to set tag champs, you don't have to pick one partner and wait for the other person to maybe pick someone else. You just pick both partners. But then whoever confirms the title selections, that'll be a turn. You can't change what someone else has done on those. Very similar to our matches. Once it's booked, it is booked. So all that said, we're going to go ahead, kick it in. The timer is already underway, and it'll be Canada with the first email.
Talk shit to Paul Heyman, baby. Said, oh, we're not even going to say anything back. We're just going to delete the email, leave him on red, and he's talking shit. So peace out, Paul.
All right, man. Cheek.
Oh gosh, let's see what Triple H steers. Wants to check in with you, DeVille, and say that I expect Mutiny to be setting the pace. Well, no shit. I fully expect us to be the #1 brand, baby. Good.
Over for weak links, he says. All right, so I get the option on the first champion here. So taking a look, obviously our counter is going here. But I am going to hop in, and I'm going to select our men's champion here, not our world champion, but I just think Penta would look good with some gold to start things off.
Dude,
so
let's
we are
go.
gonna. I don't know if Mutiny is also just the North American Championship. We're about to find out, but I'm giving that to Penta for my turn.
Hell yeah. And if I click on the game, I'm going to give my turn to the men's tag champs, and I'm going to go ahead and give it to Tama and Tonga Loa, baby.
All right. Let me slide over to the ladies. I'm going to do a pretty easy one to start. The females that I drafted, I'm going to go ahead and crown them the unholy union. There we go, boys.
Boom. And I'm going to take the women's world champion here. And my thinking in this is we've got a couple top single female stars in Sol and Stephanie Vacour. That might have been right. So I'm actually going to, not even just for the meme we've made in our other series, but I'm going to give this belt to Scarlett. She's level 15 and she's a heel, while a couple people ahead of her in popularity are face.
Nice. I guess that leaves me with the men's champion. And come on, what better champion than Cody Rhodes? He's our world champion.
Let's go.
So Cheek, just by the domino effect here, you'll be the one to hit confirm, which will count as a turn use, but just kind of the way the cookie crumbles there, right? Ooh, boys. All right, homecoming. So we'll be able to select superstar. They will go away for 2 weeks and then return as a permanent superstar. That's a great card grab. To the moon.
Ooh.
Never going to be upset about getting it to the moon card. Plus 15 popularity. Get school 3.
Sauce.
Oh my God, we are cashing on these. Now, oh my God, network special. Let's go, boys. Advertising, not as crazy as the other ones, but still pretty strong. So
advertising.
Pretty solid for us. I'm going to try to, one of the weeks we've got more time. I'll dive into this further, but I'm going to crash course this here. 5 trades, 10 shows with self-promo, 10 triple threats, 5 promises fulfilled, 10 four-ways, 10 charity promos, 10 TLC, 10 matches with superstars who have more than 65 popularity. Purchase all the power cards before a show 5 times. Book 10 shows with GM interference. We don't have any open promises right away. Tables match gets us a back alley crew. Looking at our power cards, we've got to get schooled 1, superstars GM, and a pre-match physio. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. Triple H wants a tables match. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna go to the main event again. We get one opportunity to flip 2 matches in the match order if we need to. But I'm going to go with something that I feel confident can be the main. So let's just go ahead. Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, world title tables match. Fulfill that promise and book our first match.
I'm going to go ahead, go over to the power cards, and I'm going to use a power card right away. I'm going to get school 3, and I'm going to go ahead and give it to Stephanie Vacour.
Damn, I got her all the way to 10.
Buddy.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay. Where do we go from here, boys? I'm going to start booking a card because we only got about half our time left. So, So we got, okay, you got that figured out. I'm going to go ahead and try to get things popping here. We're going to come in hot and heavy. Here we go. Let's just do it right off rip. And yeah, we're going to tag them up, and I think that's a good start.
All right, boom. I'm going to use my turn to go ahead and get this perk upgrade on Stephanie Vacour. Oh, if only we had this
I know.
2 seconds ago. We're going to go basic stamina, though. Super early this season, tough to know if she'll be a keeper for us, so I'm going to go basic stamina.
Hell yeah. We'll get this card booked. Let's go with the opener. I'm going to go with a triple threat. We're going to throw Penta in. We're going to throw... yeah, I think we'll go 15, 10,
So
and...
intimidating.
I know, 5. We'll throw
Damn.
the men's title on there, which isn't the North American title. It looks like a different NXT title. Looks cool. Looks like the same as the world title, actually.
I know, that's
All right.
what I was like. I can't really tell the difference for sure. So, you know what? Let us know in the comments of it. We'll probably record a couple episodes before the first one drops, but what should we call the men's title on NXT Mutiny?
Let's get some triple threat action. Just right off rip.
Hell yeah, brother.
Just get the ladies involved. And you know what? All the other titles are on the line. I'm gonna go ahead. Make it title-rific.
All right, boom. Let's see. So just kind of check in here. If I want to do a flip, we get the opportunity to do one flip, but I think it's pretty balanced, so we'll just let it roll. I am going to, since we have 10 fatal 4-ways to book, I know this leaves a promo slot open, but we can kind of just hodgepodge a little here and see what we get. So we're going to do Tongaloa, Javon Evans, Tama Tonga, and Pat McAfee. Don't think this will rate super high, but that helps us curve-wise. Takes care of one of the 10 fatal 4-ways we need, and we'll send that through.
Hell yeah. And we got one asset, so we're not doing anything there. Let's book. You know what? Let's give CM Punk a self promo.
And Chris Sabin, let's see if we can have him generate. He's not very good on the mic. I'm just gonna. Let's just have him self promo as well.
Okay, and then last spot here, I'm just going to go training with Alex Shelley. He's also 2 on the mic, so that will take that promo slot over to Canada.
Oh, Canada.
I'm just giving us a timer countdown. We got 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Might as well think about it.
No, you're valid. You're valid.
I also forgot it was my turn. Do we want to the moon anyone right off rip? I think yes. And I'm going to give it to Chad Gable. Get him back in that, right up into that mid card.
All right. And I see value in, we got a lot of lower level superstars, so I see value in adding XP, so we're going to get schooled.
All right, so I'm going to... I think I'm going to go ahead and send it in here. Just kind of double checking. I could grab somebody, but we don't have the money for Shaq unless it was like a 1 or 2 week deal. That'd be kind of tricky. But I don't want to future speak, but I don't know if he would be the best use of some of the stuff we can do. But maybe he is, but I think I'm going to just leave a blank spot there. Hold power cards, but I am going to use my turn actually to grab a physio. You never know when they're going to pop up. Could be useful to have later down the road.
I guess that leaves me 2. Send it in.
All right, and then Canada, this is your one opportunity. Is there anything, based on what you're seeing, any strategy you want to give for the next week of booking?
I guess all we'll say is that in my part of the booking, I will at least, if nobody else does, the tag champions will be defending their titles next week.
Boom. All right. So for our card rundowns here, again, if you're used to our long form IGM series, this will be a little bit different. We are going to show the matches here, but rather than tell like the elaborate stories and all that creative stuff, it's going to be very much kind of the menu merchant style. So we'll be going through these cards very quickly for quicker hit videos. But again, if you like the in-depth storytelling and everything, our main MyGM series isn't going to change. It's going to be here as well. So we're going to start it off with SmackDown here. Becky Lynch defending the Women's Championship against Indy Hartwell successfully in a 4-star opener. They begin a feud. Brooks Jensen calls out Trick Williams, but no rivalry starts there. Baron Corbin and Giovanni Vinci are going to go at it. Giovanni Vinci getting the 2.5-star victory in a level 1 feud. Lexis King calls out Josh Briggs for a level 1 rivalry. The New Day going to defend the tag team championships against Chase U, and they're going to do so successfully in a 3.5-star match. New rivalry begins. Self promo for Zelina Vega. Great promo for Zelina Vega. She's going to get 5 popularity. Triple threat action, tables action. Angelo Dawkins, Logan Paul, and Tony D'Angelo. Angelo Dawkins gets the 2.5-star victory. And in the main event, Women's United States Championship on the line. Liv Morgan challenging Charlotte Flair. And Charlotte Flair going to get a 3.5-star victory in the main event. They start a feud over on ECW. They're going to kick it off with tag team actions. The Wyatt Six going to take on Wolfgang and AJ Styles. And they get it done. They're put together and they go out there and get the nice win. 2.5 stars to kick off the show there. Axiom self promo does not go well for him. If you are watching the long form series, you know he struggles to talk. It's just how it is. Eddie Thorpe taking on Mark Coffey. Eddie Thorpe going to get the victory. That's going to be 1.5 stars, but a rivalry begins. Roxanne Perez calls out Gigi Dolan, beginning a new feud. Then we've got Omos and Carmelo Hayes, and they come up short against DIY. 2.5 stars. Tag feud begins. Jade Cargill calls out Blair Davenport. Another failed call out, or another failed promo there. Call out does not work. Bianca Belair, Wendy Chu. And it's going to be Wendy Chu getting the victory here. 2.5 stars, no rivalry. In the main event, television title on the line. Andrade defending against Grayson Waller. And Grayson Waller going to take that television title right away. 2.5 stars. Then it is WCW. Aleister Black going to kick off the night against Eric in a world title match and defend it successfully. 3.5 stars. Rivalry begins. Jordan Grace calls out Fallon Henley, but nothing moves there. Luke Gallows going to take on Akam, and Luke Gallows going to get the victory. 1.5 stars, and a rivalry begins. KSI with a self promo. Looks like he's the United States champion. He gets 4 popularity. You'll have to see it for him. Rhea Ripley, Cora Jade, JC Jane runs in during the match. Rhea Ripley going to get the 3-star victory, but start a feud with JC Jane in the process. And Jordan Grace couldn't call out Fallon Henley, but Lyra Valkyria could. So those two begin a feud. Then we've got Fatal 4-Way action. Ora Mensa, Ivar, Carl Anderson, and Elton Prince. And it is going to be Ora Mensa getting the job done. 2.5 stars. Rivalry between Mensa and Elton Prince begins. Kit Wilson going to cut a self promo and fail like Axiom did earlier. And in the main event, TLC match for the tag team championships. Creed Brothers taking on Akira Tozawa and Otis. And Alpha Academy gets it done. 3.5 stars, taking the titles, but no rivalry. And then finally to us, boys, NXT.
Let's go.
Mutiny opening contest. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be able to remember each week to do this, but we'll try to remember. This one booked by Canada. Penta defending the currently unknown name of the men's championship against Chad Gable and Oba Femi. And Chad Gable got to the moon card, gets the belt as well. It is going to be a 3-star victory for him. CM Punk self promo, very well done. 5 popularity to Punksters. Then booked by Cheek. Women's tag titles on the line. Meta 2 trying to take the belts off of Albion Island. They cannot do so successfully. The Unholy Union hangs on to the titles. 2.5 stars. We do get a tag feud there. Self promo for Chris Sabin. He's going to get 3 popularity. And then booked by Cheek. Scarlett gonna defend the women's championship against Stephanie McCool and Sol Ruka. McCool gonna get it done here. Also got to get a school card and takes advantage of it. 2 stars. And a feud begins between Scarlet and Solruka. Training montage for Alex Shelley. He's going to get 3 XP. Then just a random fatal 4-way here. Tonga Loa, Javon Evans, Tama Tonga, and Pat McAfee. This one booked by me. And Tonga Loa is going to get the win. 2 stars on the match. And then I assume this is Tama Tonga. And then if it was Tonga Loa, it'd say Loa. I never thought about that. I think it's Tama Tonga. Starts a feud with Pat McAfee. So we got the face heel anyway there. That's cool. In the main event, tables match. World Championship on the line. Cody Rhodes defending against Drew McIntyre. And Drew going to get the victory here in a 4-star main event to close the show and begin a feud. So just fast rundowns here. We've got good booking for us. Good job, gentlemen. Good for WCW, Yay. SmackDown, and ECW. So no one completely pissed in the bed on the first night. For SmackDown, they're going to get a 102 rating score. 36,000 fans. $43,000. Chase U has their tag team chemistry. ECW gets a 93 rating score. 28,000 fans. $48,000 DIY with the tag chemistry. WCW gets 100 rating score. 34,000 fans. $20,000 Alpha Academy tag chemistry. And then for us, we've got the Meta 2 tag chemistry, a 98 rating score, 33,000 fans, and $41,000. And since Canada was the one to send it in, Cheek, after we get these power cards, you will have whatever the first email is, if there is one. But we do get a back alley crew for our commissioner goal this week to book a tables match, so that's cool. And these are the standings after the first show. So obviously, right at the top, things are going to be super tight. 2,000 fan lead for Paul Heyman over McFoley. McFoley leads us by 1,000, and then we are ahead of Tyler Breeze by 4,000 as we head to Davenport, Iowa. Cheek, you've got the email.
All right, Cody Rhodes not happy losing the belt last week, so he wants to go ahead and run it back with Drew McIntyre. Nobody else better get a shot before me. So we're going to go ahead and appease him and see if we can raise that morale a little bit. And we do.
Boom. All right. So, and that is actually going to be it for this opening episode of the MyGM co-op here. Now, normally we pull the standings up here, but we can't pull up the standings without potentially spoiling future normal MyGM episodes, just where the save slots are. So we'll leave it right here. I guess I can pull up the graph. We know the clock resets. We did check that, so we aren't eating into our time for the next episode. But in this series, the goal is going to be to have these be not like super short videos. These aren't going to be like 10-minute videos, but these are going to be quick hit compared to our long form MyGM series. So sometimes, depending how long we take in our 10-minute timer week to week, some shows may be 2 episodes booked. Some episodes may be 4 shows booked. It'll really depend on our pace and how things are going episode to episode. But for this first episode, we wanted to do the draft, intro the series, and then do 1 week of booking. And that should put us around the time length that we want these videos to be. But we do hope you've enjoyed this. Again, it's a different crash course. If you end up trying this with any of your friends, let us know how it goes. But we are going to end it here. Let us know as well. Again, we might be a couple episodes ahead in recording this when this drops. But let us know, what should we be naming the men's secondary championship? Since it's not the North American title, it looks just like the world title. So we need ideas. Let us know. But until the next one, whether it's co-op, whether it's us competing against each other, or any other of the majestic videos on this series, we'll see you there. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Toodles.